front end part using Bootstrap. Now I'm today going to work with the back end part. So today I'm going to show you how you can integrate your form with the back end part. So today we are going to basically work with the forms using two methods. One is the request method on a local machine and try out the things. So I'll move to my server here. So I had defined a form using my form. So this is the form we had made in the previous lecture. So today what I'm going to do, so this is I'll create a button in this form first. So I'll type div class is equal to form group. Here you can see I've defined a form group for each input element. So form group. Okay, now I'll define a button. So this button should be type is equal to submit, because I'm going to submit this form, and what I'll define a class is equal to button primary, and this would give me the default color of the button, and I'll type this submit as the button value to be shown on the front end part. So I'll move to this page, and so this is my button. I'll right click here quickly to inspect what changes I can do to make this more responsive and better. So I'll do margin 0 auto. So this is the margin 0 auto is done to center the element. So this doesn't work. I'll try display block. Yeah, this works. So I'll copy this CSS quickly, and I'll create a style element here, style, and I'll quickly copy this and paste it here, and this looks pretty fine. So I'll refresh this page. Yeah, now the button, okay, now now the button is in the center. And now till now I've only defined the form, and two things I'm missing in this form is one is the method and another is the action. So how you can work with these two things, so we are going to cover in this tutorial. First I'll go to my views.py file and then yours.py. So I'll define a path here, path submit my form, and what I'm going to do, submit my form is going to be URL where I'm going to submit the form, and views dot submit my form, and name is equal to submit my form. Okay, now this looks pretty fine. So I have not defined I'll define a submit my form in method in my view file. So I'll go to quickly go here, def submit request. I'll take request as a parameter, and first I'll do return HTTP response, or let me do one thing. Okay, I'll define my dictionary here, and var1, I'll define a var1, var2, var3. What I'll do, request dot method. This would be the value of my var3. Okay, and okay, I'll do one thing. I'll keep this as method, and this would be request dot method. Okay, so and I'll define a JSON response of my dictionary. I'll quickly cover all this thing. So what I'm going to do, this was my form. So I'll define first a action. I'll define a method here, and that method first we will work with the get method and then the post method. Okay guys, so this is the get method here, and get method and post method have a difference. So we'll get this in our tutorial. What's the difference between the two? First is the get, and I'll define an action. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the shorthand property to how to specify a URL. I'll define person URL. Okay, person URL, and then a person sign. So you can be a little bit familiar with this. So I've defined a shorthand notation, curly braces, person URL. Then I'll define a name between these single quotes, this is person sign, then the curly braces. Okay, I need to define the name where I have to submit and pass this form, and the name should be this. Name is equal to submit my form, and I need to submit my form to this route which has having the name submit my form. Okay, so I'll go here. So now I think this is pretty fine. So I have defined a URL to submit my form, and this form will be submitted to that, okay, that route. Now I have method defined, the method as get, and action is this. Okay, now what I'm having an error, and that is I've not defined the value of my keys in my dictionary. So what you can do, okay, first what I'll do, I'll comment this out and comment this out. Okay, so first I'll show you one thing. Okay, line, I'm having an error, viewers.py line 2. Okay, I'm having some error, let me check. Okay, no, okay, now it's pretty fine. Sorry. So okay, now it's fine. Okay, so my form is ready to being submit. So what I'm going to do, first I've only made a request on method. So what I'm going to do, I'll make a test. Okay, I'll make a different value, test debug. Now I'll submit my form. Now what you can see here, okay, let me, I'm having some issue in my form. Okay, dev submit, my URL has been defined and method has been get. Okay, okay, I defined a URL. Okay, submit my form, and I'll refresh this page, test debug. Yeah, now this is pretty fine. Okay, so now this is fine, totally fine. Okay, I had some issues, so I restarted my server. Now it's pretty fine. Okay, so what I'm going to tell you that I'll quickly cover up the things. I defined a URL, submit my form, then this is my URL, and now I have defined the action to this URL, so I'm referring here, and method was get. So as soon as I went to this URL, a views.submit my form was called. So when I went here, what I saw, I returned a dictionary, a JSON response only mentioning the method. So this method was basically get method. So what I got here, the method is get. Okay, so how you can derive the values? So this is the var1 and var2. So what I, okay, so the main important thing what I'm going to do, so what you can see in the get method, you can see the name of the response. Okay, sorry, the parameters which are being passed here. So I had my text which I had put the data as test, and I had my text area which I had put the data as debug. Okay, so here you can see the name of the variables. So these variables are being separated by a question mark, and the route is being submit my form. Okay, so what I'm going to do, how you can use these values, request dot get, and the first is my text. Okay, and this is the variable I'm being referred, and another is my text area. Okay, now I'll do one thing. I'm missing a comma sign, so that's why it's showing me an error. Now this is pretty fine. Okay, request dot okay, I'm also missing a comma sign here. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, now I'll move to my form, and I'll type new data, new debug. Now here you can see var1 is not defined, var1 is not defined. Okay, why is it throwing me an error? Okay. So this is okay. Okay, I'll define new data, new debug, and I'll submit this form. Yeah, now this is pretty fine. Okay, so uh, I apologize for all the errors. Okay, now this is pretty fine. So here you can see I move to this route, submit my form, and the parameters being my text, which has this data, new data. You can see here. Okay, this now this is cool. And then I had another parameter, my text area. Here you can see with the values new debug. Now here you can see this is new debug. Okay, and the method is get. Okay, so this is the difference. Here you can see the parameters on the upper hand. So here you can see on the route the parameters are being visible to you. So this is the first property of the get method. So now another thing we are going to do, we are going to change this method to post. Okay, so this is post. Okay, now what I'm going to do, request dot post. So this would be post request dot post. Okay, so this is the another change I'm going to do. Now the difference between the two, first the method gets changed, and now the variables on this route won't be visible on the post method. Okay, so I go my form. Okay, I'll type some Python here, Python Django framework. Now I'll submit this form. Okay, now it says CRF verification failed because when you submit a form with the post method, you need to define a CRF token. So I quickly type %CRF underscore token, and this looks, now this is fine. Okay, so I'll make a submission here. Okay, I'm using an error. Okay, %CRF token. Okay, I made a mistake. Sorry, I made a mistake with the two curly braces. Sorry, I'm really sorry for this. So now this looks pretty fine. So I'll go back to my form. This is Python Django framework. Okay, now this is still showing me an error. Okay, I'll refresh this. Python Django, and now I'll submit this. Okay, now this is fine. Sorry, so here you can see now the variables are being not there on the route. So the variable parameters are not there, so that's being hidden in the post method. Plus you have a CRF token here. Okay, so I had some issues, so I restarted my server. This is var1 with the Python, var2 with the Python Django. So these are some what we call them as hidden characters. So I'll tell you how you can clean this data, and this method is post. So basically we work with the get method and the post method in this tutorial, and next in the next upcoming tutorials we are going to work with the database. So thank you guys, thank you so much. But today we are going to create a different instance of a form, how we can create a separate file, a forms.py file, and we can store all the forms in that file, and we can render the form whenever required without writing the repetition of the HTML code. So that brings some kind of an alternative solution how we can create a form and how we can submit them. So let's get started with this. So I have few links, so you can have a look at these links. So I've opened these links on my browser as well. So first one is this. So today we are basically going to work in something this kind. We are going to create a form in this such way, and I've defined below how we can fetch the clean data from the form. This will remove the special characters and special characters, and these are the widgets in the form. So basically there are different types of widgets. One is a text input, number input, email, URL, password, hidden input, date, time input, text area. Then some other also checkbox, radio select. So there are file input. So these are some like many options in the form, and how you can render the form on your front end part using today we are going to work with a different alternative solution. So let's get started with this. So what we'll do first, I'll have a quick recap of the last lecture. Like we first I'll open my file urs.py file. So like in the previous tutorial I showed you that we created two URLs, one to render the form, that was my form, and another was the URL to submit the form. So I used to render a form using my form, then I used to submit that form, and we used to move to this URL. Then then we had our backend logic, then we can process the form data at this URL. Okay, so today what we are going to do, we are only going to create only one URL, and we'll only create a one URL and work with in such a way that it will help us out to do both the things. So first what I'll do, okay, I'll create a URL path. I'll define my form 2, and I'll call a view function views dot my form 2, and I'll define a name to it. Name is equal to my form 2. Okay, so I've defined this in such a way that you don't get confused with the previous one. So today we are going to work with my form 2. Okay, now what are we going to do? Okay, this is my app file, and inside my app I'll create a new file with the name forms.py. Okay, so this looks pretty fine. And what we are going to do, so I'm inside my forms.py file, and I'll move to this link. Okay, so today the very first line you need to type is from Django import forms. Okay, so what you need to do, from Django import forms. Okay, so why I'm doing this, this will help. And first I would run my server python manage.py run server. So this would help me to know if there's any such error. Okay, the server will tell me. Okay, so from Django import forms, and now you'll create a class for your form which will define, okay, I'll create a class is equal to feedback feedback form. Okay, I'll have a small b, sorry, feedback form. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do forms dot form. Okay, so this is the syntax you need to follow. Okay, now we are done with this. Okay, now I'll define two fields here. One is the title, okay, and another one is subject. Okay, so I'm going to define, and what I'm going to do, I'll create a char field, since forms dot char field, okay, and forms dot char field. So this looks pretty fine. Okay, I've defined two char fields here. So I'll give a name, sorry, I'll give a label with the max length. I define label is equal to title. Okay, now this is fine. Label is equal to we can call it as subject description, subject description, and I'll define a max underscore length is equal to 50 for this. And in the same way I'll define max underscore length is equal to 200 for this. Okay, Now what I'm going to do, I'm also going to add a different attribute here. Here you can see that I can also define widget is equal to forms.text input. Okay, so I'll copy this, and in this way you are going to text input here for this. And for this one, what I'll do, I'll change this to as text area. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, I'm correct with the spelling. Okay, this is text area, right? So here you can see this is text area, this is text input. Okay, so I have created the form successfully. So this is the form. What you need to do from Django, import forms, class feedback form, forms.form, then title, with the both of them having a label of title, subject description, max length, and the widget being the text input and the text area respectively. Now I'll move to my views.py file, and I'll define my form 2 will take a request as a parameter. And before using this, what I'll do, I'll type from dot forms. So basically I'm referring to this file from forms.py, import star. So you can import every form you want. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'll put a if condition, if request dot method is equal to post. Okay, elif, just for the basic understanding I'm doing this, request dot method is equal to get. So for the same route we are going to check if the request method was get or post. Okay, so if it was a get method, so what I'll do, I'll create a form, and that form was, this was the name of my form, feedback form. Okay, so I have a feedback form, and okay, so basically this is equivalent to this. Okay, so this is just for having this is equivalent to this. And what I'm going to do now, I'll have execute a pass statement here. I'm keeping a pass statement till the now that it doesn't throw me an error, and I'll have a form. And what I'll do, I'll return render request, and I'll first define my dictionary is equal to form. Okay, and I'll pass this form, and I'll then request, and I'll make up my form 2.html. okay, and context is equal to my dictionary. Okay, sorry, I'm wrong with the syntax. Now this is fine, but right now I have not defined my form2.html. okay, so I'll go to my templates folder, and I'll create a new file, my form2.html. okay, now what I'll do, I'll extend my template, so I'll have any page. Suppose I'll have this is a second.html. okay, I'll have this page. So basically right now what I'm doing, okay, so I'll change the title my form 2. okay, what I'll do, I'll create a form. Now that's it, I'll create a form. And now what I'm going to do, basically I had rendered the form, so what I'm doing, I'll define the logic when I get to the post method. So define my form 2. So if the request dot method is equal to post, till now I've defined a pass statement, we'll define the logic. But if the method is get, we'll create the form. okay, we will get the form from that class, and then we will render that form to my form2.html using the dictionary. And now simply we'll move to my form and simply type form dot as underscore p. okay, So I restart my server. Okay, now this looks pretty fine, so this should work now. Now I'll go to my local host. So the server has started, and I'll go to my form 2. Oh, now you can see like the form has been made. So I didn't write the HTML code. So what I did, I'll move to my forms.py file. I had defined the title and subject. I've already defined the text input as well as the text area. Then I went to my views.py file. If the request method was get, so I had initialized the form, then I had rendered on the page. Okay, and then when I went to my HTML page, then I had without writing the HTML, I was able to successfully add the form using the HTML. Sorry, using this by rendering the form. Okay, so what you can see, so as underscore p means as paragraphs. Okay, so when I move to my page, so I simply click on Control plus U. So this will give me a source code. So what here you can see, here the form has paragraph tags P P P. Okay, so this means form was rendered using the paragraphs. Okay, now what you can do, I will type form as table. Form as table. So when I move to my page, now here you can see the form has been rendered using a table. So table row, table heading, table data, then table row respectively. Okay, so this is fine, right? Okay, I'll zoom this. Okay, this is here you can see this had been rendered using a table. Okay, and when I did form underscore as p, so this means it was paragraph. So I'll also do this. I'll refresh this page, then Control U. So here you can see this was paragraph. Okay, here you can see P for paragraph, and another. Now also one you can undo. You can say form as UL. So this would give unordered list. So I'll refresh this page. So you can here bullet marks. This represents the unordered list. So I simply Control plus U now, and you can see here you can see here's the form. Yes, yeah, here's the form. You can see list has been declared, list item, and the form has been rendered using a list. So in the next tutorial we are going to continue with this, and then I will tell you the basic part where if the request method had been the post. So what I'm going to tell you, if the form will be submitted on, so what will happen. So next we will try to style up this form, as well as how we can render the errors, and how we can fetch the clean data, and how we can check the validity of the form. So this would help us really. Previous tutorial we were working on forms, so we had made a form using a form template engine in Django. So I had made a file named forms.py, and then I had made a form. So this is the look of our form. Then in views.py file I defined two methods. One was a request.method is equal to post, and one was the get. So basically I'll give a quick overview of what we were going to do. So like when I refresh this page, so basically on this URL I'm making a get request, and on having the get request, so basically this block of code gets executed, and this block of code gets executed, and this tells that I had imported the form on the top of the file from .forms import star. You can import any form. So when you use star symbol, so I used form is equal to feedback form. So this was the feedback form which I was referring to, and then I was able to render this form on the front end part of my application. Okay, so basically what we are going to do, first thing we are going to do is add Bootstrap class to this form. So what you are going to do, wherever your input is defined inside forms.py file, so you need to define a dictionary which has key value pairs. So basically this dictionary is defined by attributes. So attrs is equal to, this is a symbol for dictionary, so it has a key pair. Okay, basically at the left it will have a key, and then on the right it will have a value. So basically these attributes could be anything, which could be name, ID, class, which refers to the basic HTML syntax we follow. So what I'll do, I'll define a attribute class, and I'll give it a value of form control. So most of us would be thinking, why only form control as the class? Because this is the default class present in the Bootstrap, so this will make a form responsive. And for the another text area, I'll do the same. Okay, I'll basically quickly copy this. Yes, and yeah, now this is fine. So when I move to my page, I would see Bootstrap has been added to my form. Yeah, here you can see the Bootstrap has been added to a form, but this isn't responsive. So what we are going to do, I'll go to my form.html, and I'll add a div class is equal to call medium 6, and I'll put this form inside a div. Okay, and what I'm going to do, okay, to get the form on the middle of the page, I'll define a style. Style is equal to margin 0 auto. Okay, now this is fine. Okay, yeah, now this form is in the center of the page. Now this is good. To check the responsiveness, I'll press Ctrl Shift I, and yeah, now this looks good. Okay, there is some issue. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, now this is form is responsive. Okay, so this was to the front end part. Now for the back end part, what if I want to submit this form? To submit this form, the method should be post method. Okay, and I'll generate a token for this, which says %crf underscore token. So a token is necessary when you submit the form via post method. Okay, and this is the form which I had rendered, and additionally I need a button also. Button type is equal to submit, class is equal to btn. So this is a short form, button primary. This is the default Bootstrap class, and I'll give the submit. Okay, now this is fine, and okay, so here comes the button. So I'll give a little bit of style to this button. Style is equal to margin 0 auto. Yes, okay. Okay, it is not in the center, so I'll add display block. Okay, and what I can do, okay, margin 0 auto and 0 for the bottom. So what I'm going to do, so this is the fold hand notation, which says on the top I'll give 1 rem, and on the left and the right auto, and on the bottom I'll give 0. So this will give, yeah, so it gives a margin top of 1 rem, and on the left and right it was auto, and the bottom it was 0. Okay, left and right auto, top is 1 rem and the bottom is 0. So this is pretty fine now. So I'll make now I'll move to the backend part, and what I told you, when I refresh this page, okay, so I was making a get request on this route. So when I made a get request on this route, or you can say on get request on this URL, so the form had rendered. But what if I make a post request? When I would be making the post request, basically I would be submitting the form. Okay, so when I'm going to submit the form, so what I'm going to do, I'll make form is equal to feedback form request dot post. Okay, sorry, request dot post. So I'll get all the values when the form has been submitted using the post method. Okay, but still I'll make a if condition to check form dot is underscore valid, is underscore valid, to make sure the form is valid, and I'll make title is equal to request dot post, and title okay, and subject. So I'll make again a same request for the subject. Subject is equal to request dot post and subject. Okay, now this is fine, and I would print title here and print subject here. Okay, and I'll return an HTTP response. Okay, but still I'll make a var is equal to str form submitted, and I'll give plus str request dot method. Okay, so this is fine till here. Yeah, now I'll return an HTTP response of var. Okay, if this form is not valid, what I'm going to do, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to render the form again, but okay, and I'll define my dictionary is equal to this dictionary is going to be same as this one. Here you can see form and form. Okay, and this is this and I'll quickly copy this. Okay, else. Okay, now this looks fine. This code I'll quickly give a quick overview. If the request dot method was get, so this block of code gets executed, in which it says I'll render the form on the front end part. Okay, when I submit this form, so this block of code gets executed, which says request dot method is equal to post. So form is equal to feedback form. I'll get all the values using request dot post. If the form is valid, then I'll get the two values, that is subject and title. Then I'll print the title, print the subject, and I have given a named variable which says form submitted by request dot method, and I will return the HTTP response of var. Else, if the form was not valid, so you need to check that if the form was not valid, so I would render the form on the front end part again. Okay, if the form was not valid, so what I'm going to do, it says I'll test app debug. Okay, but okay, before this I'll restart my server. Okay, yeah, now it's fine. Okay, I'll refresh this page. Okay, now when I refresh this page, I made a get request. So I rendered the form on the front end part. So test, I'll give a title and say app debug, and I'll make now submit this form. Okay, so I have submitted the form. Yeah, now it says form submitted post. So this was the method which I had defined. So when I submitted the form, so this block of code gets executed, and here you can see that I had executed two print statement here. One was the title and one was the subject. So title corresponds to test, and this here you can see test was title and app debug was there in my subject part. So thank you guys, thank you so much. I'll catch up in the next tutorial. So you need to be very careful by writing this code. You need to be very careful about writing which if condition is comes inside which if, then else, then elif part. So you need to have a quick you need to have a good overview on this. So in the next tutorial we are going to work what happens if the user if the form is not valid or something is wrong, then how we can show errors related to that form on the front end part. Okay, so thank you guys, thank you so much. I'll catch up in the next lecture. In this tutorial we are going to work with the alerts in Django form. So basically alert handling in forms. So in this tutorial we are going to handle alerts in Django. There are two types of alert. One is for error and another is success. So we will fill the form. We will fill form, validate and check forms for both the cases. Use Bootstrap on the front end to render and display messages. So let's get started with this. So till now we had made a form. So this was our form. Okay, on the request method and the on the basically here you can see on the get request we used to render the form, and the post request we used to submit the form. So we would apply the error handling on the post method part. So basically before this I will show you some process. The process here is about that we have alerts in Bootstrap. So uh, what we can see, alerts provide contextual feedback messages for typical user actions with a handful of available and flexible alert messages. So there are basically many types of alert. So this is a primary alert, secondary, success. So here you can see the primary alert is in blue color, success is in green color, danger is in red color, and warning is in yellow color. So another type of alert here you can see is like which are dismissible in nature. So here you can see the alerts which are dismissible in nature have a cross button on the right hand side which can be clicked, and on the refreshment, when I refresh this page, so here you can see this alert message comes up again. So basically you can cross the button and dismiss the message uh, for that purpose only. So let's get started with this. So first we will try to keep it simple. So if the form is valid, title is equal to request.post title, subject is equal to request.post subject. What I'll do, I'll create my dictionary, and irrespective of the result, my dictionary is going to have the form, feedback form. Okay, irrespective of the result, I'll make a condition. Okay, then my dictionary of success is equal to true, and in the same way my dictionary of success message is equal to form submitted. Okay, and then what am I going to do? I'm going to return this page. So I'll take request as a parameter. My form.to.html context is equal to my dictionary, and here you can see now I have returned the my form2.html and context equal to my dictionary. So basically I would move to this part. We would use this, and here you can see it's alert warning. So I just I told you you can have a quick remember that warning is for yellow, danger is for red, and green is for success. Okay, what you can do, alert success, and this would, okay, and I will display the success message here, but only I would display the success message only on one condition, that is percent if success is equal to true, then only I will display this. So I would this is the end of the div block, and I would end the condition percent end if, okay, there's a slight error here, and I hope now it's right. So I would python manage.py run server. Okay, so I will move to my form. On the get request, I get request, I render the form, and but on the post I will check the error handling. So what we can do here, I will type test uh, title test subject, and here you can see it says form submitted. Okay, so uh, there was a slight error because I missed the single s here, alert success, so it could not display the background color. But I would refresh this page, it says form resubmission. Okay, now it's pretty fine, it says form submitted. So we can add a margin top to this. So basically this would help us out. Style is equal to margin top is equal to 1 rem. Okay. Now it's pretty fine. We have a margin top, and on the cross button it is dissipate. So this is pretty cool. With this, for the same part we can do for the error also. Okay, but for this what we can do, you would move to our views.py file. This would be on else condition. So first we will check the error. I did this first because I wanted to have a quick idea of how this works. Okay, but if title is not okay, what we can do, this is our form. Okay, uh, and we can here add p class is equal to text muted note title should be capital. Okay, so this says note title should be capital. Okay. Okay, so when we move to our form, okay, now okay, I'll save it here. Then no, this time I would make a get request and render the form. Okay, I think it is throwing me an error. Okay, okay, let me for the time being if one pass. Okay, now I would render the form on get request. Now this is fine. Okay, so it says title should be capital. Okay, this was just for the case I'm taking here. Okay, now if title is equal to title dot upper, so this is a string class in Python which can be checked. If title is not equal to title upper, then we can what we can do, we would do the same thing. My dictionary of error is equal to true. My dictionary of error message is equal to title title should be in capital letters. Okay, title should be in capital. Okay, I hope this is fine. We can have a capital C here. Title should be in capital, and then I would render the page on the same part. Okay, my form.html. Okay, but I would only show the error only on one condition. That would be if error should be true, and this then I would show an error message. Okay, and this should be my danger class. Okay, so I hope now you have a clear idea what's happening. So I would make a get request test title test subject. Okay, now it says title should be in capital. Okay, and if I make a okay, I'll make a test title here like in capital, test subject, or we can have this in small letters, no issue, test subject. Okay, so it says form submitted. Now I hope guys this is very clear to you. So in next tutorial we are going to work with the more on error and exception handling with the routes, URL and pages, and even in the forms also. So thank you guys, thank you so much. Basically in the 14 tutorial we used to request we used to make a get request to render a form, then we used to make a post request to submit the form, then on the basis of that we used to have alerts, either it is a success or a error. Okay, basically in this one what we are going to do, uh, we are going to that there can be multiple errors in the form. So like suppose I'll add a new entry to this, and the entry would be email. Okay, so here I'll give it as a title as email. so email is the new title to my form. Sorry, email is the new field added to my form. Okay, now in use.py file, I'll also request email is equal to request dot post, and I'll take email as a parameter. So here you can see that in my forms.py I added a new field email, a forms.char field label is equal to email, and in the very same way it was a text input. Okay, then I requested for email. Okay, now what I'll do, uh, here we are trying to see that there can be multiple errors on the page. So what we are going to do, I'll define an error flag which should be false in the beginning. So what we are going to do, so first, if title is not equal to title.upper, so I'll quickly remove all this. uh, uh, so what I'm basically trying to convey the idea that there can be multiple errors. So if title is not equal to title.upper, then error flag is equal to true, that error is there. Okay, and error message is equal to title should be in capital. But this time, one thing I'm going to change, that errors is an array, or what you say, a list dot append error message. Okay, so this is fine. In the same way, what I'm going to try to do that, so here you can see that this is an extension to the previous tutorial. So what I'm trying to define here, I'll define a regular expression regex. Okay, and so basically this regex is used to define the email address. So here you can see a dot symbol with the @ symbols. So what I'm going to do, regex. Okay, so basically I have my email. If not, so before this I need to define an import re. So this is a default library in Python to use regular expression. So what I'm going to do, I have imported the library, regex is there, email is there. So if not regex, sorry, re dot search. So search is used to determine the match the regex pattern, regex comma email. Okay, if this happens, then what I'm going to do, yes, error flag will remain true, and errors dot append error message will come. But this time the error message would change. The error message would be error message is equal to not a valid email address. Okay, so basically I'm trying to convey the idea that uh, there's an error. Sorry, so I'll remove this line, if not re. Okay, so basically I'm trying to convey that idea that if title is not equal to title or upper, that error flag remains true. Error message would be this, and this would be dependent. This would be appended in the errors list. Okay, yeah, good. Then I made a logical. I made a if condition which state logically that if this is not a match or a search, then error flag will remain true, correct, and error message will be not a valid email address, and this would be appended in the errors list. Okay. Okay, new condition would be, next condition, if if error flag is not equal to true. If error flag is not equal to true, so this is the third if condition. But this all if else condition depends on your logic part, how you can make them. To be on easy way, I'm making in such a way If error flag is not equal to true, that there was no error, means error flag uh, is not equal to true, then success is equal to true and success message is equal to form submitted. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I would render this to my form2.html. Okay, but I'll give a quick overview. If title is not equal to title.upper, then if not regex.search. If error flag is not equal to true, then this return render request my form.to.html context is equal to my dictionary. So this would help me out in this. So but before this I need to update my dictionary. My dictionary is equal to, I'll update my dictionary. My dictionary of error is equal to error flag, and my dictionary of errors is equal to errors. Okay, so this is fine. So uh, uh, so I would make a so now this would render my dictionary to my form2.html. Okay, okay, before this what we can do, now I would move to my form.to.html. So basically in advance I've done this. If uh, if error is equal to true, yes, for error in errors you need to print this error, this for loop would end and this if condition would end. Okay, so I would restart my server. Python manage.py run server. So when I make a get request to my form, so here you can see an email has been added. Okay, I'll make a title test. Okay, I'll keep this in lowercase, test title, test subject, test mail, but this is not an valid email address. So here you can see title should be in capital and not a valid email address. Okay, uh, I'll make this test title, I'll make this in capital, test title, test subject, and test mail. So this time the title is valid but the email is not valid, so it should return me only this error. Let's submit this form. Yes, it says not a valid email address only. So test title, test subject, test user @mail.com. So it says form submitted. So I have gone through all the test cases. My form has passed. So with this you can see that how the logic works. So basically in the template part what I'm trying to do was, if error is equal to true, for error it errors. So basically I'll move to my views.py file. Here you can see my errors was this error arrays which I had made, and this was the error flag. So basically even what you can do also, print my dictionary. So this would help you to get a better idea. Test title, test, and test mail. So it says not a valid email address. Okay, and what it says, yeah, here you can see the dictionary is like this. The errors has not a valid email error, not a valid email address, and error is true. So this is how you can work with this. So thank you guys, thank you so much. So you can test with multiple test cases and it will help you to understand the logic part. So thank you guys, I'll catch up in the next lecture. Thank you guys, thank you so much. So basically in this tutorial we are going to learn about 404 error handling page. So in this tutorial we are going to learn about 404 error page. 404 error page would be created and it will be only rendered on an invalid route. So basically what we mean by the term that invalid route, or due to exception handling, that if a user goes to an invalid route, invalid URL pattern, invalid path, invalid directory, whatever we say, like a 404 error page would be displayed. Either the access would not be allowed, it would be an invalid URL or an invalid operation as well. Okay, so I'll give a use case where we can see this. So our server is running, so I'll move to my server, I'll make a request. Okay, now we can see that on a request our server has started. Okay, so I'll move to the urs.py file. I'll go to this about page. Yes, so it says about response absolutely working fine. Now in the same way I'll move to my form. Now I can see that on making a get request to this route, a valid page should render. So a valid page should render, and it says, yeah, here you can see, yeah, my form. Okay, now I'll again make a request to an my form 2. Okay, I'll simply type 2. Okay, yeah, now here we can see a page has come. Okay, so till now I've been making a request to a valid route, so there was no issue. But as soon as I make an invalid route, let me type something, my any page, so it says page not found because this URL never existed. My any page, my any page, new page, even this not existed. Okay, let me type something like some random characters. Even this random character URL does not existed. So but we can simply see here you are seeing this error because you have debug is equal to true in your Django settings file. Change that to false, and Django will display a standard 40404 page. So basically what I mentioned here, so we will be seeing how we are able to integrate our own 404 page on debug is equal to false. So basically again I'll give you a use case which will help us to have a better understanding. So what we can do, debug is equal to false. So here you can see don't run with debug turned on in production. So like when if we are changing debug is equal to false, this means that we are going to be in deployment mode. So our application is in deployment mode. So like it clearly says don't run with debug turned on in production. So debug is not turned on, so debug is false. So it says, so we are actually trying to be in deployment mode. So if you are in deployment mode, you have to define the host. So right now I'm defining star, which works on all the hosts. Okay, so I'll run my server. Now this is fine. I'll make a request to my server. Yeah, this is hello world, absolutely working fine. In the same way about, absolutely working fine. uh, my first page, yeah, or my form to any of the pages, yeah, absolutely working fine. But now if I type some random characters and move to a URL, it says not found, the request resource was not found in this server. Let me type something as my any page, new page, something like this, even not found. So now our application was in deployment mode. But as soon so what we can do, we can create our own 404 page. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to move this side Bootstrap. We are going to work with a jumbotron this time. So like we are going to go to templates, quickly create a 404.html. Okay, absolutely fine. And what I can do, I'll copy this, paste it here, change the setting to 404 error page. Okay, absolutely fine. I'll remove this heading. Good. I'll copy this code. Good. I'll paste it here. Good. Yes. So I'll page not found. So I'll give a heading that the page is not found. and I'll give a URL which says, okay, so what I'll do, this page, something I'll give a message, uh, page does not, something we can give any message, this page is missing or does not exist, something like we can give it as sorry, this page is missing or does not exist. Okay, so this is absolutely fine. Exists. Okay, this page is missing or does not exist, and what we are going to do, go to our home page. Yeah, this is fine, and I should define percent URL single quotes percent sign. So basically we have to define in this single quotes which route we want to move, and we'll move to url.py file, and the name would be index. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, and how we would render this page, so basically this is the url.py file of your my first app. Now I'll move to url.py file of first project. Okay, so please don't confuse yourself with these two files. This is my first project, this is my first app, and you need to define a 404 handler here. So handler 404 says, okay, I'll quickly copy this, or even you can type handler 404, which says you have to define my app name. So basically our app name is here my first app dot views. So basically I'm referring to the views.py file, and I've defined the function error underscore 40 underscore view. Okay, error underscore 404 underscore view. So this is working fine. So it says that my first app dot views dot error underscore 404 underscore view does not exist because I have not defined it. So I'll move to views.py file, and I define error underscore 404 underscore view, which takes request as a parameter and even new parameter as exception. Here you can see. Okay, exception, and it will return render 404.html. Okay, so this is working fine. Okay, now here you can see, let me have a quick check. Handler 404, this is fine, and my first app dot views dot error underscores under view, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll move to my page. Yeah, this is my server, absolutely working fine. I'll move to an about page, absolutely working fine. Now let me move to a random URL. Okay, it says server error for 500. Something is missing. Okay, something is missing. Return request. Okay, I'm really sorry for this. I had missed the request parameter here. Okay, this is absolutely normal. You return render request then HTML page. So you return render request and HTML page. Okay, I'll then restart my server. This is working fine. Now I'll make a random URL request. So yeah, now this is absolutely working fine. So it says page not found, sorry, this page is missing or does not exist, and go to our home page. So yeah, we go to our home page, and you can see this time settings.py file debug is 0 to false, and here that's why we can render our own 404 page. So guys, thank you so much. In the next tutorial we're going to try to build some basic applications, we would be working on some features as well also. So I'll catch up with you in the next lecture. we're going to start with the calculator app of our Django. So we're going to make a calculator app. So the I'll go to my repository. So I'm inside my repository. So I'll click on new terminal. So what we need to do, so the very first command we are going to type is Django admin start project Django projects. So in the end you define your project's name. So I've defined the Django project as my projects. So here you can see the Django projects folder has been created. So I'll move to inside my Django projects. Okay, fine. So I'll have a manage.py file inside this. Okay, yeah, this is absolutely fine. So I'll do okay, one thing we can do, what I can do is I'll type python manage.py. Okay, run server. I'll do first run server. So this should start the server on my local machine. Yes, the server has started. So I'll type local host colon local. Okay, so sorry for the mistake. So local host colon 8000. Okay, yeah, here you can see the server has started. Local host colon 8000. Or you can move to this as well, 127.0.0.1 colon 8000. Okay, so yeah, now I type python manage.py start app calculator app later app. Okay, I hope I'm correct with the spelling. Yes, calculator app. Okay, so the calculator app is created. Okay, so what you can do, okay, Django projects, here you can see that our app is at the same directory level with the manage.py file. Okay, now one thing you can do, I'll create a virtual environment here. So you need to you might have to install a virtual environment package as well. Yeah, so I'll type virtual env my env. So this would create an environment variable inside the project. So yes, I hope the environment variable has been created. Okay, for this virtual env, I would in case it throws an error, so you might have to install a virtual environment package using pip. I guess it's pip install virtual env. It's simple, or maybe I'll update this in next video. Okay, if it throws an error. Okay, so you can check out on the documentation as well. Okay, so I have created a virtual env. So what I need to do, so now I'll have to activate my virtual environment, my env slash scripts slash activate. Okay, you please make sure of the direction in the slash symbol is defined. Okay, now you can see the virtual env has been activated. Now I'll type python manage.py. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm really sorry for this. What you need to do now, if I start my server, it won't start. So I need to define. Okay, even I can try this out. Python manage.py start out. Okay, now start app. Sorry, run server. So what you can see, it could not import Django because inside my environment Django is not installed. So I'll quickly install Django inside my environment variable pip install Django. Okay, so the Django will be installed in the like it will be installed in the environment variable. So by the time I'll give you a brief overview. So like basically we are going to define the template directory static files. Like now we have created the project, we have created the app. Now we are going to create a requirements.txt file as well. So this will be all about development environment. Then like in the upcoming, we are going to work with front end part, then back end part, then error handling. So basically some new designs as well to how we can make our app beautiful, like in the front end part responsive. So we're going to cover them as well. Okay, so let's move to this. Okay, yeah, it's getting installed. Okay, so basically what we are going to do, we are take the input from the user. It will help us to we will take input from the user, then we will like even the mathematical inputs can have some error. We'll check errors as like division by zero error, we check some error handling and this at that level as well. Okay, so yeah, now here you can see your environment has been installed, and I'll type pip freeze requirements dot txt. Okay, yeah, here you can see the requirement.txt has been created. So I'll move to requirement.txt. Now here you can see, like, now if you want to do, we can also do one thing, you can type control F, and you can simply type quick equal to uh, I have tried this thing, like you can replace with this with greater than equal to sign. Like this would help you, like in if in any like in any other like in upcoming if there's any another version like 3.0.4. So like 3.0.4, so like in any future, if you have a new version, so this would update to that version because it has a greater than equal to sign. So any version greater than equal to 3.0.4 will be updated. So you can apply this to your requirements.txt file to get updated, or if it might throw error, you can revert back to this with the equal to sign. Okay, you can simply do greater than equal to, then replace with equal to sign. Okay, you can try this out. Okay, so because I have tried this once. Okay, so now the requirement.txt file has been created. Now we will move to our settings.py file quickly. Okay, this is the settings.py file. Okay, so one thing you need to define, os.path.join. Okay, I'll define base directory. Yeah, good. And templates. Okay, okay, yeah, good. And I'll define a static URL is equal to URL, and you need to define static file directory as os.path.join base directory and static folder. I quickly copy this. Yes, good. Yes, so I'll do this. I'll move into my Django projects. Okay, so what you need to do, so at this level you need to define two folders. One is templates, good. Another is static. Okay, so this is good. Okay, and what we are going to do now, what you can do, we do, like we are going to move to our urls.py file. Okay, so yeah, so this is include path comma include. Okay, and you can define a path to here as calculator app include calculator data. Okay, calculator app dot urls. Okay, so I'll run my server, but okay, now I'm inside my calculator app, so I'll create a new file, urls.py file here. So basically, okay, I'll do one thing. Yes, new file, urls.py, fine, absolutely fine. And from here, what I can do, I'll quickly copy this, paste it here, good. And I'll define URL patterns as well. Okay, 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 I'll define from dot, from dot import views. So this would bind my urls.py file to views, and I'll give views views dot index name is equal to index. Yes, okay, but I have to go to my views.py file as well. Yes, that's why I'll define def index request Okay, and I'll define from Django dot http import http response at least response, yes, good, and return http response server started. Okay, so this should work now. Python man.py run server. I hope there's no error. Yes. Okay, and I'll move to calculator. Yeah, good, absolutely fine. So we are right now. I have created the development environment. So like just for the last few seconds, I was like while I was doing something, I was implementing it. So like I'll give quick overview. Settings.py file. You're done. You are good. So what I try to do that on the calculator app. Okay, so basically I used to like in the previous tutorial I used to keep it as a blank, but right now I've done this as localhost calculator app because there might be a possibility that we might be creating many apps into this single project. Okay, so like on this calculator app route, like if I go to this route, like I here you can see calculator app server started, but if I move to this, so this is the slash admin. Okay, we'll be discussing about Django admin as well, so I'll try to fix this error in the next tutorial. Till then you can move to localhost colon 8000 calculator app. So like here you can see the server has started. So like in this it included the calculator app.urls, and now like in this path views.index was called, and I return an HTTP response of server started. Okay, so thank you guys. I'll catch up in the next lecture, and even I'll try to look at that error as well. So thank you guys. Let's get started. So like in the previous lecture, what we did, I will run my server python manage.py run server. So basically I'll move to localhost colon 8000. Yeah, good. So I was now what I'm trying to show that our project can has multiple apps. So this is the uh, root app of our project. So I'll clarify this. Like as soon as I move to calculator app, it says the calculator app is running. So like in the end of the last video, I was having error at this point. Like when I used to do localhost colon 8000, it used to throw me an error that it could not find the path. Okay, something like 404 error page. So like now how did I solve this? I like a local host colon 8000 shows me the server has started, and calculator app shows the calculator app is running. At this route we are going to make an app. So what I did, so I'll move to my urls.py file of the Django projects. Good. So like in this you can see what I did, I created like this is my calculator app. Okay, good. Now I created a new app with the name root app dot with the name root app, and I linked the default path to the root app.urls, and I'll open the root app.urls. So it says path like views.root, name is equal to root, and I'll move and it returned an HTTP response. The server has started. So this basically this corresponds to the root app. So I made a root app to make sure that it doesn't throw me an error on the main route. Okay, so basically why I did this, because we are going to create multiple apps on this single project. So when I move to my app calculator app, so it says calculator app is running, so absolutely fine. Okay, now one thing we are going to do, so what we can do, I'll close to the right. Yeah, good. Okay, I'll close this as well and close this as well. Okay, now I'm inside my settings.py file. So I did os.part.join base directory and templates. Basically we are going to refer to the calculator app template. So I give a slash calculator app. Okay, so this is fine. Now calculator app is the folder which I'm going to define in templates. Okay, So yeah, here you can see what what I was talking about, that I created a root app and then a calculator app. So this is absolutely fine now. Okay, okay. Now I'll move inside my templates and create a new folder with the name calculator app. Yeah, good. And I'll create, okay, so I moved inside my calculator app templates. Now I'll move to that folder, templates. What I'm going to do, I'll move to the templates folder. Okay, templates, yeah, here it is. Yeah, templates. Okay, and now I'll move inside the templates. Okay, good. And I'll create new file and type index dot html. Okay, is this fine? Yeah, okay. So I'm inside my templates calculator app index.html. Yeah, good. So what I can do now is, what I'll do, I'll go to the Bootstrap website. Okay, I'll go to the documentation, getting started. So I'll copy the base template here. I'll quickly copy this, paste it in my index.html. I'll save this file as well. Okay, now the server has restarted. So I'll go to my page and okay, but I forgot to do one thing. What I need to do, I'll move to views.py file of the calculator app, and instead of this I'll return a page, return render request, and then index.html. Okay, so I'll refresh this page. Okay, is there any error? Okay. I'll refresh this page. Yeah, it says hello world. So basically it's all working fine. Now what we have to do, like we have to create a footer, like navbar. We have to do a responsive design as well. So we'll quickly now do the work. So what we can do, we'll quickly search out for navbar. Okay, yeah, here's the navbar. Okay, I can copy this. I'll move to my index.html. I'll remove the heading. Okay, first I'll give a title as Django calculator later app. So this is going to be a single page application. So okay, so this is going to be a single page application. I can copy this, so we don't need a form. I'll cut this. Even I don't this. Okay, okay. So basically I don't need the nav down also, so I can cut this. Okay, this okay, first I'll type Django calculator app, good. And basically even I don't need this also. Not even okay, Django calculator app. Okay, I can save this, then refresh my page to see what's happening. Yeah, now it's absolutely fine. Instead of this I'll give an about. Okay, and I'll give this an about. Now I'll check on pressing Control Shift I. Yes, this is absolutely working fine. Okay, so yeah, we'll try to improve we'll try to improve on this as well. So basically for footer, what we can do, uh, okay, so okay, I went to cards. Okay, we'll do one thing. Okay, what we can do, div class is equal to card body. Yeah, good. So we are inside. Okay, now we'll move to that as well. So we are inside our body. Div class is equal to card. Okay, so before this I need to define a container as well. Div class is equal to container fluid. Good. And div class is equal to row. Div class is equal to call md6, and then a div class is equal to, yeah, card, then a card body would do. Yes, card body as well. Okay, and I'll go to the page. Yes, it's absolutely working fine. And I'll give a style is equal to margin 0 auto. Okay, so this is absolutely fine. I'll give a style is equal to margin 0 and auto. I'll give a style as style is equal to margin 0 auto. So the style is in the would be in the middle, and here you can see I'll define a form inside it. uh, and in this I'll quickly define the forms. Okay, div class is equal to form group. So basically we have to define a div class is equal to form group. Good. Now we have to define inside the and label. Okay, so a class of form control has to be defined here. So input, basically I'm going to type input type is equal to search, because our class is equal to okay, sorry for this, class is equal to form control, name is equal to, I'll define this as query, id is equal to query as well. Okay, and I hope this is and I have to define a method here. Method is equal to get action is equal to, I'll define the action as well. Okay, so until the time you can keep a hash here. Okay, I have refreshed the page, and yeah, so even I have to define a margin top as well. So this is 1 rem, then auto, then bottom is 0. So this is the full hand notation. Top, this go then top left is bottom, then again right. Yeah, now this is fine. Okay, so and I have to define two input. So basically in this I'm going to define button group. Button group. So basically the button group would work in this way, or we can do what we can do. I'm inside my form card body. So what I can do input type is equal to submit, sorry, submit class is equal to form button primary. Okay, and I have to define as new input also, because if the user input type is equal to reset. Okay, okay, class is equal to button primary. What we can do, refresh the page. Okay, yeah, this is absolutely working fine. We'll try to give different colors to the button. Okay, and now we'll add the footer. Okay, the footer would be in the same way we are going to do this. Div class is equal to container fluid. Div class is equal to row. Div class is equal to row. Then I'll do div class is equal to call md12. Okay, and I'll give this as, I'll define this as, okay, let me do one thing. I'll define this as footer class is equal to fixed bottom, because I want this to be remain at the bottom of the screen. Okay, and I'll define as a p, okay, footer, yes. Okay, here you can see the footer is being displayed, but what I can do, background light, will this work? Okay, let me check one thing. Nav is equal to background light, yes, navbar light. I'm trying to give the same color to the footer as navbar. Okay, I'll check this out, but like we have made a raw structure to our application, so like in the next tutorial we are going to enhance this, and I'll even check this how I'll try to give, like we have made a raw structure to our header, then the block and the footer as well. So like in this in the next we are going to give some different color to this button, and we'll give a background color as well. So I'll catch up in the next lecture. Thank you guys, thank you so much. Like in the previous tutorial we made the front end, raw front end of our project, so now we would be completing it. So like the first thing I would like to show you about the footer. We had some issues in the footer like in the last tutorial. So like I'll right click here, click on inspect, and try to do something like this is our footer. So what I can do, I can add a background of black, oh no, sorry, black. Yeah, now it's absolutely working fine. The text color should be white. Yeah, it's good. And text align should be center. Yeah, absolutely working fine. So we'll comment the changes here. So I'll add a style here. Background is equal to black. Good. And we'll make color is equal to white. Here color represent text color white. Good. And the text align should be center. Good. So what I want to do, we have this class container fluid, and I'll give a margin bottom here, margin bottom of at least 20 rem to be to give like this would help me out like to have a scrollable view downside. Okay, so like now it's working fine. So I'll move to the container fluid. Okay, this is the container fluid. Yes, so like here you can see I've given a margin of 20 ram, 22 ram, 24 ram. So like okay, I'll look into this. Okay, so next thing we can do, what we can do is we have a about. So like we want an image here, so we'll add image, class is equal to image fluid. Okay, now and I define a source to it. Source is equal to percent static. Okay, and then a percent sign and end symbol, then logo dot jpg. I think this should work fine. Okay, it is throwing me an error. Okay, yeah, at the top of the template you need to define person dot static, person load static. Yeah, so it is throwing. Okay, let me see. Like I'm in my templates static folder. Oh, the name is main.jpg, sorry. Okay, I'll move to the link, and this is main.jpg. Yeah. So we have an image here also. Good. So like it's fine. So what we can do, like I'll align this button to the center, and what we can do, like this is button primary, so I'll give success as button success, and this is as button danger. Okay, and I'll give a style is equal to display block. Okay, so this would I'll try to margin 0 auto, and I'll apply the same setting to the another button as well. Okay, so I'll refresh this page. Yeah. Okay, okay, what we can do, okay, I'll give this as another row div class is equal to row, good, and div class is equal to call md6, and what I'll do, I'll press Ctrl X, Ctrl V, and div class is equal to call md6. Okay, so I tried to give a row to it. No, this isn't working. Div class to call 6. Okay, what we can do here is we will inspect it here. Okay, see this is a row which is showing. Okay, good. Okay, the problem was that my call wasn't inside the row. Okay, so this now this is fine. Okay, my call wasn't inside the row, so now it is inside the row. Yeah, now it's absolutely working fine. Okay, so we have two buttons, submit and reset. Okay, what why was the use of the reset? Okay, if I type any equation 2 plus 3 plus 5, okay, something, so the reset button would reset the text. Okay, okay, so this is absolutely working fine. Okay, what we can do here, we can provide like what we can uh, provide some text at the footer, like thanks for using our app. Okay, we can provide this, and in the same way what we can do, we'll move to the body part. What do we can right click here, so this is looks good, and here we can see for the front end part you need to be do some like inspect and do something, because you might not be accurate at the first time. Okay, so okay, what we can do, uh, I'll give a class. I'm inside my body, so I'll give a here I'm inside my body. I'll give a whole class a background light. This should work. So this would, yeah, here you can see my body has the same color as the nav bar. Okay, so this gives me a glossy interference. Okay, it might be just I want to tell you that you can give any color you want. You can right click here, so here you can see the background color might be this. You can do color inspector and try to give any color of your choice. Okay, what you want you can give any color. So this one I'm trying to keep things basic. It's up to you want to make any changes. Okay, and now what can we can do, I'll refresh this page. Yeah, good. So what we can do, so we have basically done with this. So I'll try to give one thing I had mentioned about the margin bottom here. So let me check with this. Okay, yes, this is the margin bottom. Yeah, Yeah, I have increased. Yeah, that's why I was saying I was increased to trying to increase the margin bottom. Like it would give you a flexible view down there as well, because next we are going to create the about part. So like we'll give a about block, and div class is called md6. Again, I was inside my form, then inside my, this is the row, end of the row. Okay, then I'll again have the row div class is equal to row, and div class is equal to call md6. I'll give a style is equal to margin 0 auto, and something good, like we'll use some typography here, typography. So we can have various things. That is one thing you can use here is a display 4, or maybe LED as well, what kind you want to use. So like maybe you can use, what I can do, use p class is equal to display, we can use display 4. This is about, then we can give an hr tag, it will create a line, and then we can use p class is equal to LED, our calculator app can perform mathematical operations. Okay, now I'll refresh this page. Yeah, now okay, it's like it's fine. What we can do, uh, I'll give a margin top of 1 rem, then auto 0, then auto. Okay, okay, maybe, or 2 rem, or 2 rem also. And one thing I wanted to show you here, that I'll give this row, or maybe you can say column id is equal to about, or maybe name is equal to about as well, name is equal to about. And when at the top of my nav bar, if I come here, I'll give it as hash about, because hash represents to the id. Okay, so basically even the VS Code says, like I click on here, I get to this id. Okay, so this is absolutely working fine. Okay, and when I'm here, I click on about, I get down to here. So basically this was an example how you can use id with the reference tag. Okay, okay, now if I come to control shift I, okay, okay, and I click on about, I get to the about part. Okay, it can be in lengthy paragraph as well. Okay, it's up to you. uh, and I'll give as a style is equal to text align is equal to center. Okay, even to the heading also, text align is equal to center. Yeah, good. So like we are like almost done with the front end, so it looks good. So like in the next lecture we are going to be quickly coming up with the backend part. So I'll catch up in the next lecture. So thank you guys, thank you so much.